There's only one way to start.
The defenders that have performed at VVD's level is Rio, John Terry, and Vidic. I mean, how long are we going to act like this guy's a top striker, man? Champions League final.
We got to the Champions League final and lost to Liverpool. I'm cool. I've accepted that. I moved on.
Worst week ever as a Spurs fan. I
think the most pertinent issue that we can discuss, and I've said that I'm not.
Guy loves a big word.
That's the dumbest thing you've said on this pod.
Cool
You just
that.
said Spurs are in turmoil. You know you want to say it. Don't let him press you.
Boom.
Sorry. Got too excited.
Boom. Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct and effect. You already know what time it is. Before we get into the main event, make sure you're subscribed, make sure your notifications are on, make sure you're following the personals, make sure you're supporting, like, share to your friend, your auntie, your mum, whoever, your church members, everyone on the wing. 2021 stoppage time going big.
Mosque members as well.
Listen, we don't discriminate. Everyone and anyone. Big up yourselves, innit? Listen, everyone, man.
Yeah.
And without further ado,
Temple members.
let's go.
Hey.
Hold tight. The 3 point collectors inside. Listen, hold tight, the 3 point collectors. Listen, if you're not getting bantered in your if you're not getting bantered in your WhatsApp group, hold tight you. If your manager's not gonna bully in your Zoom call tomorrow, hold tight you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're eating and you're not frustrated because your team collected 3 points, hold tight you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making rap songs about your team losing, hold tight you.
Amen.
If your team won and you're angry but you're still trying to make content and act like you're a fan, hold tight you.
Amen.
If you made shouts before the game and tried to change your mind on Twitter during the game, hold tight you. Hold tight for the man. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh, there's a lot to talk about. You know me. I don't talk much. I'm just here to host. I'm a conversationalist. You know me. I don't get. I'm
we saying blacklist, yeah?
I'm a
We'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
I'm just a conversation.
Hype, boy.
Listen.
Say no more.
Let's get into it, man. Yo, man. There's only one game to start off with, and of course, one thing I think we need to highlight is a lot of men want us to break down the intricate parts of the game. This is not match of the day. This is stoppage time. We are here to discuss the things that are above the surface. If you want to watch the game is there on BBC iPlayer. If you have Sky Sports, if you go to the home section, you can watch the highlights of each individual game. We're here to discuss the stuff that is above that. So without further ado, take it away from me. North London derby.
Best derby in the land. Best derby in the land.
It is the derby at the moment. Well, to be fair, I am looking a bit forward to next week's one. But
Manchester derby is cooking nowadays.
But
trust me.
It's building.
Yeah.
And I guess with the caliber of opponent you guys have now, it's still a big game. Let's put it that way.
It's a big game purely because of the historical factor.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at the league table.
But listen,
it's kind of like, you know, when United used to play City at Main Road.
Yeah. It's just
that's
not
what the North
same.
London derby is like now. You know
But-
what I mean? Like totally
Listen.
different ends of the spectrum.
It is the
You know what I
fact
mean?
of the matter. But
let's
what
go
is that?
into it though. So, top of the league.
Lovely.
It's
It's how you want to end any Sunday.
business done as per clean sheet.
That's what unbeaten in the last 5 North London derbies now.
For real?
Yeah.
Yep.
Unbeaten in the last 5. Yeah.
Yep.
What was that? Now 4 of the top 6 played, beaten 3 of them, and
If
drew
you
with
count Arsenal
Chelsea
top
away.
6, right?
Historically, top 6 we'll say, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far,
Hey,
the
10
way-
goals scored, 1 conceded.
what is it? 10 goals? Who for them?
For you guys. You scored 10,
In those
conceded
games.
1 in those
Oh,
top
in
4
those
games.
games.
Yeah.
Sheesh, I didn't even know
Because
that.
remember, you gave them a 6-piece.
That's true. 6 and then 2 at City.
Hey, giving Man United the family
Yeah,
bucket is
listen.
hilarious, you know. That is
that?
hilarious. I still can't believe you, man, gave them a young
Listen,
family bucket
That's
with a young.
Jose's on a redemption tour this year, bro. He's on a redemption tour this year because last season it was he's rubbed, he's finished. When he came to the club, I mean, a lot of man even on this pod was saying, hey, he's on the decline. You know what I mean? He's on a downward spiral. His tactics are outdated, but now more than ever, he's playing the big teams and the tactics are coming good. The tactics are working. He's got these players driven and playing with an efficiency and a mental fucking attitude that I haven't seen before, bruv. Real talk. even like over the last couple of years, we've seen kind of Spurs be mentally soft, especially against Arsenal. They've always been like kind of a hurdle for us almost. So for me, out of the big fixtures, this was going to be the one that I really kind of showed me the levels of where this team is at mentally. Comfortable today.
You know what? Let's
comfortable.
Let's put into perspective.
But I want to get you lot's thoughts on Jose. He's officially been here a year now. Yeah, we've seen kind of the turnaround. Yeah, of Tottenham over the last year or so. Now people are saying we're genuine contenders. Are you lot still of that mindset that he's outdated, he's dinosaur, he's on the decline?
I'll let him go first.
As a Chelsea fan,
looking at it,
because you know what's worse? Jose gave Chelsea success. He didn't give me much success. So turning on Jose, no problem. Him, that's your founding father.
I didn't turn on it.
That's your founding father.
As I've always said,
you need to answer for questions. Wait,
you're the founding father. You went mad.
Did he co-sign?
Wait, hold on. Slander will be addressed.
Is this Kanye blame game?
All I'm saying is,
sit down.
All I'm saying is, the founding father. That's your founding father.
Wait.
I would never turn on
relevant.
I would never turn on.
I didn't turn anyway. From
that's what I'm saying.
Looking at Spurs, looking at what he's doing with this team. It's in hindsight, it's very easy to say stuff. But one thing I have to address is the optics of what's going on at Spurs. You have to respect it. I feel like very similar to that Chelsea stint, when you've got a team who may have achieved some stuff historically, and you go in there and say, listen, I can take you here. I can see that all of the players have adopted that. One of the things looking at Spurs that I find very interesting, a lot of your fans are still rubbing up Pochettino. I don't like it personally. I'm seeing a lot. Like a lot of people saying like, oh, this has never happened before. Pochettino did like wonders for you lot. It wasn't like top of the table, but Pochettino did stuff for you lot.
Yeah.
But I understand in context why that might be happening, because the difference is you're doing what you were doing before, but you've got someone that you actually believe can take you across the line. That's why in your mindset, like even with your video today, you said, I start believing.
Yeah.
I looked and I thought, why didn't you believe when Poch was in 2 title races? Then I realized, hold on.
Wasn't there. The manager and the thing is, the manager was also himself as well.
No, I get you, but I also think it's the fact that you've seen Jose Mourinho do this before, and therefore you have a point of reference. You haven't seen Pochettino cross the line.
Yeah.
So some people are carrying that in the right way. Some people are going way too left with it.
Yeah.
Like, because we've seen tough Spurs teams before.
Yeah.
We've seen Spurs perform well. We just haven't seen you cross the line or sustain a challenge.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has managed
to. For me, the weak thing has been, even under Poch, against the big six, we weren't always great. That's the one thing I think since coming in that I've seen an improvement on. Even last year when we played City, last year when we played some of the other teams as well, I thought Arsenal, we beat them 2-1 as well. So it's like against the big six. Something happened. But we improved that this year, right? We improved that this year, right? But that's one thing I've seen under Jose. In the bigger games,
what I wanted to say about
tactically, the way he sets up is different.
What I wanted to say is there's 2 things. The way you guys are setting up, credit to you guys, and also the way he's just galvanized those players' minds. Like, if any manager manages to captivate their team and get their team believing in something and he's doing what he's doing, you can only respect it. You can only respect what he's doing, the discipline. Even in these games, you see all of these commentators saying that, oh, it's negative and whatnot. Compared to what I've seen from Jose Mourinho before, this isn't actually that bad. I'm going to be so real with you. Like, the football you're not playing, it's not that bad to compare to some of the stuff I've seen.
He secures a result first, then says, I don't care about the second half.
He's been like that before. But what I'm trying to say is...
but in the last 2 weeks, we've seen both second
2024.
He don't even have a shot.
Of course,
24% possession in the second half.
What I'm trying to address is, production will even testify to it because we spoke about it in the group, where he said the quality of goals scored was like, it's not like a scrappy win. Like, these are good goals. It's good football you're playing.
100%.
So, like, people will say that, oh, it's the most basic form to teach and everything. But you have to remember, last season, everyone was saying that it's a Jose team and they can't defend. Don't come and say, no, it's the easiest thing to do, because he's addressed it. And that's one of the things where, as a football fan, I don't like when people don't get their due credit. Like, he was bollocked for something all season. He's addressed it now. Let's give him the respect for doing that. And even if he's playing in the way that you don't like, he's addressed the situation there. He's giving his dues. If man them are addressing situations, give them their credit. Like, that is the bottom line of it. But respect to you, man, because like a derby game can go anyway. But
I'm still waiting.
I respect it.
Talk on Jose now.
I respect it still.
Do you see?
I appreciate you, mate.
No, I respect it.
Honesty.
I respect it.
You know what it is, yeah?
Let's talk, Cam.
What do you mean?
You
Let's
gotta
talk.
say on Jose.
Chill. Nah, for real though. What Jose is doing at Spurs is good.
Yeah.
You gotta admit what he's doing at Spurs right now is good, and at the level that Spurs, the level of club that Spurs are, I personally think is perfect for him. That's what I think in terms of they're not that big. Their expectations are to just go and surprise everybody, right? Yeah. And that is what Jose is doing at Spurs, and he has been backed at Spurs as well in terms of the players that he wants. Yeah. He's got them in. And to be honest, when you have someone like, the thing is, it should have been in terms of the players at United, for example. I'm just going to use United, not Chelsea. At United, he's bigger than the players. Those players hadn't even won anything, right? Same at Spurs. They haven't. Lloris has won a World Cup, but they haven't really won anything like that, the team. But the difference is, us as fans and the club have won things. Yeah. Spurs haven't. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So us as fans, and we've seen different things, and we've had a style of play. We've had a expectation. We've had also Jose Mourinho. He's Jose Mourinho. So you're thinking, bring us the trophies, bro. Bring us the big one. Whereas at Spurs, it's not really like that.
You guys are just clutching at anything you're given.
It's much. Not like that.
No, but
realistically,
let me put it this way: if you man finish second, you couldn't go and get angry.
Exactly.
So, whereas if you guys finish second, you'd be like, hold on here.
Yeah,
we're not used to being there. That's the difference.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
But what it is, right, is that for me, you see it at Real Madrid as well, and I've said it before. You see it at Real Madrid. These are clubs of expectation, big expectation. Even when Jose was winning games and successful at Real Madrid, Ramos was still chatting shit. Yeah. Ronaldo still hated it. Yeah. All of these guys still hate, and it's the same way with United, and the fans were still, Jose, what's this, da. It's the same thing with United at these sizes of clubs. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So people can see it as disrespect to Jose, but I think he is Spurs is his level.
It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, that's a classic match. People are gonna sound it disrespectful, but Spurs is his level. And Chelsea,
to let you finish, sorry, bro. It's the phrasing of what you're saying.
Yeah, Chelsea were not the big club in the country. Neither were Inter Milan. Do you know what I mean? Porto, it's easy to dominate. Inter Milan were not the big.
No, wait.
Inter Milan, profile.
This is what
that's the profile club.
No. That's the key word. And it's the profile at the period of time. Yeah, that's the key thing. It's not the size. It's the profile. Like Inter were forgotten about. They weren't the big bro at the time.
Don't forget.
So to come and do that, it was like, okay, you know what? We are the underdog.
Exactly.
He needs a profile where it's like, people are not going to expect us to do this. That's what he needs.
Yeah.
If you're expected to do it, then how do you galvanize that sort of siege mentality when you're expected to do something?
It's what it is, right? When he was at Inter Milan,
but he built that city. Like once you build that city, it's a different thing. Yeah, you've built it from the ground up.
When he's at Inter Milan, let's not forget when Inter Milan, they had all them trophies, like they had won leagues, but that's because Juventus got done for the match fixing, and they were actually finishing second, so they got given a few trophies, a few of them titles. When Jose came in, he really got them going. Do you know what I mean? But again, AC Milan, top team, and Juventus are as in like in Italy, Inter are not seen as the biggest club. You know what I'm trying to say?
Basically, the team is not the front runner.
Yes. Yeah. So exactly, and those are the clubs where you'll probably say, okay, he didn't win a Champions League at Chelsea, but those are the clubs where you'll probably say he's been the most successful. And Chelsea, Inter, and obviously Porto. But as I said, Porto are the biggest out there, and it's Portugal.
What about Real Madrid?
At Real Madrid, they wanted him out.
Do you know what
they wanted him out? That's the thing.
They had Pep's Barca at the time to overtake.
I didn't say they're not successful. I said even with the success, the Ramoses were complaining, Ronaldos were complaining.
They were also.
I'm not saying we demand the same respect as Ronaldo, Ramos,
but there's
an aura around it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
And historical expectation.
Yeah, and I think Jose is Spurs level, and I think the level that Spurs are Jose's level, and the level that Pochettino built Spurs.
I think you're putting us up, but
no. The level that Spurs. No, because think about it.
Spurs, I think the ambition of Spurs is what Jose has achieved. If that makes sense.
Where Pochettino almost took you to, right? A manager like Jose, it's perfect. It's like as we were saying last week, Jose didn't pick up Everton. Yeah. You still had a club where you've broken.
You're a top 4 team. There was still top players within that. Yeah.
So I think I think it's a marriage made in heaven for you guys. And even when you talk about
same thing months ago. Yeah.
When you talk about their football, when you talk about the football, I still see the way Spurs play as still defensive. Yeah, still a defensive style. At the moment, you've got and people need to be honest here. I don't care about how many trophies this person's won or that person's won.
The best one.
At the moment, you've got you can arguably say one of the best duos ever in the Premier League. It's as simple as that. Son and Kane, and them two playing like this. I mean, God forbid for Spurs if one of them gets injured. Yeah, but the way you guys are playing,
that's for me what will be the key part this season.
Exactly,
is keeping them fit. If they stay fit, I think we can go a long way. But just what you said there,
you know, when you said you believe, what did you mean by if this is a belief?
I mean, I believe that we can actually firmly bring silverware this year under Jose.
Bro, you should start thinking about the title, bro.
It's the consistency I'm seeing. It's the defensive shape. It's not just like, oh, we're keeping clean sheets or there's individual standard. It's the whole shape as a whole that I'm seeing. And it's not, for me, the other thing as well is today's game as well. Højbjerg, I'm sorry, but you touched on Jose's kind of mentality and everything. He is Jose on the pitch. You know that everything Jose wants from that defensive midfielder to screen, protect, harass, press. He brings that. And I feel like everything he has, we miss so much.
I was just about to say, now, I don't want to make it out like... So, Jose at United, right? When you look at the players that he has at Spurs in terms of what he signed, like Højbjerg, he tried to make that Matic. It didn't quite work.
Matic was over the hill.
Lukaku to be his Kane.
Yeah.
I feel like in the real key areas of the pitch, Spurs have what he would have wanted at United. And as I've mentioned many times, Jose strikers never fail, usually. Only at United if... Jose's strikers never fail. His defense are usually generally solid. Even at United, we had a solid defense.
Yeah.
He has that holding midfielder in front. Xabi Alonso, Cambiaso, Mota, Makelele, Essien. He always has that person. Yeah. And Højbjerg is his new one. I mean, Matic never fulfilled that. And Lukaku never fulfilled that.
But this is what I said about Jose, is if he gets his guys in, you will see the true version of this team.
But he did, to be fair, he did sign them players for United.
He did sign some of them. And listen, he might have got them wrong. Like Matic was over the hill, as you said. But I feel like that has been proven everywhere he's gone almost. Once Jose gets his guys and his teams in, things start to flow and to come. My thing, all I'm saying is all that talk and rhetoric of that was going over the last year about he's outdated. I feel like that's completely out the window, if that makes sense. Would I be wrong in saying that?
No, but it goes. That's what I was trying to highlight in terms of it. It's how you look and phrase things. You can't. It's same with like if Simeone's at the top of La Liga now.
I was just about to come on to that later as well. Yeah,
to say people are outdated.
Man who weren't flavour of the month last month.
You have to look beyond it. You have to look at are they outdated or have they not got the skill, the tools that will enable them to do what they want to do?
Because
football is football, right? Football is football at the end of the day. Therefore, Jose Mourinho's style, how does a style become outdated? If he's got the tools and he can maximize it, then you're there.
One thing I clocked is whenever a manager's more counter-attacking or defensive, people are so quick to rub them out and say they're outdated or they're dinosaur, prehistoric. And it's like, but man will never say that about a manager who's got a little philosophy of passing or tiki-taka or whatever. But I'm thinking... But this man is trying to get results at the end of the day. He has his philosophy. It might not be the opposite. But I feel like with Diego and Jose, they've now proven in almost... They can't be doubted no more. That's how I feel.
Atletico are funny because they got one win in the Champions League, 3 draws, 1 loss, and they might go through. But
they're jammy. But listen,
what I wanted to say on Spurs on this season, which I've always pointed out in terms of if the Kane and Son thing, but looking at... I said about Chelsea a few weeks ago in terms of all of the games that I thought we would have lost last season. I don't see us losing that. It's about the big 6 games now. I look at the way Spurs play, especially in the second half and everything. I think to myself, you have to be a really good footballing side to actually get through this.
Yeah.
If you don't have a player that can spin on a half turn, which we're saying is dying, or you ain't got effective attacking fullbacks, as you say, or penetrative wingers, how are you supposed to beat this Spurs side? You can't. If you can't play football, it's going to be hard to get through them.
9 goals.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get through them. And how many teams, we've been saying the standards in the Premier League and the players of the Premier League, how many teams realistically in this Premier League do you reckon after like 60, 70, 80 minutes will keep going and try and break that team down? It's really hard.
It's hard.
It's this Harry Kane guy.
When you got Harry Kane and Son on the other end going forward, you look dangerous as ever. And I'm sorry, but that goal today by Son,
I'm going to ask you a question.
Draw.
Is Harry Kane the best player in the Premier League?
Yes. Right now?
Think so?
Yes.
No, not right now. Is he the best player in the Premier League?
I'd still say Kevin De Bruyne in all honesty.
But what separates Kevin De Bruyne from Harry Kane? I know the basic people that don't look beyond surface are just gonna say trophies.
Nah.
Yeah, okay, we get it. You've got trophies.
Nah,
He plays with Pep, City. Obviously, Kane's not gonna win a Premier League. Well, at that point.
I don't know, to be honest. I can hear a case for both, to be honest.
Listen,
and the thing is, for me, those two,
I'm just
me,
asking
right now,
before people start making it a thing about me.
So you're saying Kane is the best player in the Premier League right now?
I'm just asking, is Kane the best player in the Premier League?
I can hear the case for it, definitely, for sure. I think him and Son are the best 1-2 punch in the world right now. I don't think there's any, like, who else is out there that right now? Mane and Salah aren't performing up to the levels. I mean, what they performing up at the minute?
They're not
a 1-2 punch. They're
but
just
I mean,
two players
what 1-2 punch is out there?
Yeah, no,
There
nobody.
isn't one really.
Son, I'm sorry, the world class debate, that kind of goal for me, big moments like that, derby games like that, that's what puts you over the edge for me in these world class debates. A lot of the times, I'm always, as a Spurs fan, asking, what else does he need to do to push over that edge? And I know this is a convo that's been had over the last couple of weeks, but I'm like, what more does Son now have to do to actually be called world class?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at numbers, performances,
consistency,
it's pretty much the same in terms of what the ones that we call the best wingers.
Sterling is called world class. Does the same.
I mean,
so for me, I feel like if Son right now was in Gnabry's place at Bayern Munich, world class, no question.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's the same. It's the same discussion.
Is that a 1-2 punch?
It's the same thing about.
They're a 1-2 punch. I just thought that in my
Muller
head.
Lewandowski, you would say?
They're a 1-2 punch. Yeah, 100%.
I'm taking Son and Kane right now. I'm taking Son and Kane. I hate Muller. I love Muller and Lewandowski as well. But
Are you taking Son and Kane because of the way they play, or just
today.
in
Maybe it's
actual
just a derby
player?
feeling. I'm taking them today.
I can't lie. I can't lie. One thing you have to acknowledge, the way Muller started that whole sort of creative thing at Lewandowski, you're right. That is a 1-2. That was a partnership still.
You see, with like
Obviously,
obviously
good shout.
obviously because of like numbers,
production
like
still.
numbers wise, Son is like obviously can compete with like the best and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, so you would probably say that's why he's world class in it. Like, having them.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna read something out quickly. So Son has 41 appearances, 21 goals.
I know already.
He has 41 appearances, 21 goals. Rashford has 41 appearances, 20 goals. Hold on. Son has 40 appearances, 20 goals, 12 assists. Rashford has 41 goals, 20 goals. 41 appearances, 20 goals, 11 assists. Same numbers.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you the difference?
I'm not saying anything. I just read out a fact. I don't even think Rashford's world class, but ain't that interesting to you?
That is interesting.
Ain't that interesting
Do you know
to
why
you?
that's interesting? Do you know why that's interesting? Because one is naturally a winger and the other one is a striker who's been
Rashford's
converted
on the
into a
wing.
winger.
Rashford's playing on the
Remember,
wing.
remember once upon a time on Stoppage, the real Stoppage
was a
Time
good-
OGs will
that was a
remember
good
2
return.
seasons
Has
ago
Rashford played up
when
front?
man
That
were
was a
out
good
here
return,
calling
son.
Rashford a top
That was a
5
good return.
striker, not
Hey,
a winger.
I'm just reading
But now
out.
they want
That
to
was a good
compare him to
return,
wingers.
No, but I'm just reading out. Yeah,
I'm
that
just
was
saying.
from
We
1920
was
to now.
discussing
Yeah,
North London Derby, Son, Tottenham.
No, but
Who's Rashford?
No, but I'm just saying because we're
Clear that off.
Now because we're talking about numbers, and you said that's why.
No. It's not
And they've
just
got to
the
say numbers.
numbers.
I'm just saying it's interesting.
It's the years of
And you
consistency.
probably say
cool,
Champions
cool,
League
It's the
as
years
well,
of
innit?
consistency.
You'll probably say Champions League as
It's
well,
the fact
innit?
that he's
What?
taken
He's gonna say
Korea.
he's got six
The
goals
fact
in
that he's
the
taken
Champions League
Korea
as
to
well,
an
innit?
Asian
You're
Cup as
childish.
well.
This guy's
Look at it,
childish.
You're
You'll probably say
slimy.
Champions
You're
League as well,
childish.
innit?
The viewers know you're a slimy guy.
I'm
Childish.
just saying.
You're very childish.
I don't think
listen-
Rashford's world class, but I'm just saying if we're talking about world class numbers and
Yeah.
Son's in there and Sterling's in there, Rashford has the
Tell
same
you what,
numbers.
here's my
We'll
thought
get
on.
to the Rashford debate someday,
Here's-
but today we focus on Son.
Here's my thought on
Yeah.
Son. It's
Bet, so
something
you got world class.
It's something I've discussed with you in terms of when I've seen Son turn up. It's when like Kane's not there.
Yeah.
Or in terms of like parts of the season, he turns up and everything. For me, what I'm seeing already this season is great because from the get go he's been there. It's just seeing
This
that
will be his
consistency-
best tally.
Seeing the consistency
Yeah.
over the season. That's all I've wanted to see from him. Because I'm not gonna call him a purple patch player. But
tried
I've
it last
seen
week.
like it's form, and then he does all right. He does the intangibles,
Yeah.
But it's like form, like 3 goals here. We're blitzing it, then we won't see anything after a while. Right now, he's just killing, and that is credit to. With the Harry Kane thing as well, we've got to talk about credit to Jose Mourinho as well in terms of
For the way
optimizing your team in a way that it helps your superstars. But
But the thing
let's
is,
talk
it's-
about
it's not-
Asna.
Bro, love that, please.
Yeah.
Like enough Tottenham talk now. Let's get to the.
My family.
Man said enough is enough. Hey, 15th in the table. Worst start ever. Was it 1970 something? They're
Worst
saying.
start ever.
I'm
Like,
gonna be real. I'm not
it's a
talking.
mess.
I'm not talking.
10 goals. Hey, what? So they got same goals as
Yeah,
Sonny
they got
Boy.
10 goals. Yeah, Son's got the same amount of goals.
I'm gonna be real because I tried to be as much as I can. As a practicing Christian, I tried to be a man of my word. I said I'm not discussing them anymore. So
Listen,
you guys can go.
The thing with Arsenal, look, it's a hard one with
I
Arsenal.
can't stop laughing.
Because it's a hard one with Arsenal because, all right, let's be real. First and foremost, Arteta, look, he won the trophy, right? Okay, fair enough. He came in with a defensive style, blah 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 blah, and got a trophy. That's good. But in the cup football, Roberto Martinez won one. Harry Redknapp won with Portsmouth. Roberto Martinez won
Di
one.
Matteo won the Champions League.
Di Matteo won the Champions League. Yeah. So cup football, you can win it. You know what I mean? With a bit of luck and whatever, you can win it. But like, let's be real. He's not the standard. It's his first season in football. People are gonna say give him time. Arsenal's team is bad, but it's not relegation worthy. Like 15th, 16th. Do you know what I mean? I can go through Arsenal, and the thing is, Arsenal fans also need a humbling as well, because your team. Look, Leno, overrated as hell. Overrated. Bellerin,
better.
ever since he turned vegan,
Semedo's
he's
better.
been horrible. Holding is not that good.
Wolves have better
Gabriel
centre-backs.
is all right. Tierney, listen,
Stock
production
is
said
falling.
we need to start looking at him.
Stock is
So
falling.
I've got my eyes on him. Xhaka,
Production.
Xhaka's
Wolves have
average.
better centre mids.
Shaka's average. Partey,
Wolves
okay, he's
Wolves have a
fair.
better squad. They have a better squad.
Just
Bro,
on Xhaka, yeah.
why
We
do
can go
people
through-
get angry at that?
We
Here's
can
the
go
thing.
through it.
But just on Xhaka, is Højbjerg not everything Arsenal fans wanted Xhaka to be? Would I be lying in saying that?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
That
much.
aggressive midfielder who can play a little bit on the ball, but gives away the odd dumb foul here and there. Xhaka, I don't know. What is it? 4 years in now. I still don't know what he's good
Can
at.
I read this
I
out
still
quickly?
don't know.
And it will just
Who? Xhaka.
will sum up.
Really? Xhaka
It will
passing?
sum up everything
I don't
that's
associate
Arsenal.
those
So
two.
basically, season stats here:
Silly
goals
fouls.
10. So they're ranked 17th in terms of goals scored. Shots on target 32. They're ranked 18th. Chances created 65. They're ranked 20th. So for context, Burnley and Sheffield United have created more chances than Arsenal Football Club. And you're a mug. You're a mug. And then God bless good pundits. So Alex Scott said it as it is. If you're spamming in crosses into a forward who scored 3 headers since the time he's been at Arsenal, how do you expect that to go down?
Bro, do you know what the thing is? Yeah, is they're spamming crosses into Aubameyang. Would you say he scored 3
He
goals?
scored 3 headers in the time that he's been
And
at
the
Arsenal.
thing is, he's never been that type, but they're spamming 100 crosses. Him himself, he doesn't look interested. I don't know what it is. I think you touched on it a couple
Listen.
weeks back.
In fact,
But-
hold on. This is who Aubameyang is right now. This is him. This is him. This is him.
Saying Baby Jet.
What is the difference? Listen, when Baby Jet secured the bag, what happened? He went away. He went away from the limelight and enjoyed the peace. I'm telling you now, like
No,
it's not
bro.
even because of a thing. Like you can check any of the great
But the thing
strikers.
is, it's-
I'm sure Yakubu had the same thing. Like
Look,
you're taking
you know
a
what it is?
The thing
With
is, though, it's in a derby game like this, when you're the captain, you're the leading front man. He was
spoke
giving
a good
all this
game before
talk-
the game.
Before the game, talking about if we don't get up for this game, we need to use this as a turning point. Bro, he is playing right now like he don't trust his teammates. Like he knows he won't get a good through ball, a good cross. There's no movement, no urgency, no nothing. And I don't know whether it's secured the bag and I'm chilling or whether this team is actually that bad. He's just like,
No,
I'm
but
done at
see,
it.
look.
But then why would you sign the long-term deal?
Yeah, but this is
comfort.
what I was gonna say though. Like, look,
comfort.
we can say all week or the whole of stoppage time we've tried to avoid talking about Aubameyang, right? We've tried
Give him
because
leeway.
we're saying we're trying to give him leeway, blah
Benefit
blah
of the
blah
doubt.
blah. But when you become the highest paid Premier League player in the Premier League, that leeway is gone. Like, let's be real. Pretty much, yeah, he is. That new deal that he signed made him the highest paid player
He's
in the
on.
Premier League.
Don't quote me. I think
350K.
it's 315. Yeah, I don't know. He's
Exactly,
getting higher than that.
350. I swear it was. Check it.
I'll check. No,
Anyway,
keep talking.
so when you become
Okay,
one of the
DDG.
highest earners in the Premier League and Arsenal's captain, you gotta be looked at as well. There's nothing out there. He's the captain, by the way. We all talk about leadership, captain materials. I don't
Yeah,
see
he's
a
top still.
Yeah, he's the
He's
top
he's
highest
above
earner.
Bell.
I don't see a leader in him. I don't
Don's
see
in top 10.
Yeah.
I don't see a leader in Aubameyang. And
Nope.
and I said it before. You got to question his like I can't feel sorry for him because you got to question his ambition. that makes me really believe that no club wanted him. Because why you're signing a new deal with Arsenal for 350k, the highest earner, we all know Arsenal are a cash-strapped team anyway.
Yeah.
So now they're going to be paying Aubameyang all that money, and he's delivering this, not doing anything on the pitch out there. So I can't really feel too much sympathy. Ambition for me, he's ambitionless. Like, you know you're not going to win nothing at Arsenal. You're not.
No.
So, and then now this is what's happening. Look, the proof's in the pudding at the end of the day. 10 appearances, 2 goals. You're not going to win anything at Arsenal. So people are going to get mad at that, but it's facts. I'm sorry, it's facts.
No, it's facts. And that FA Cup was as good as it was going to get.
Listen, like
when you listen to his speech about why he signed, all he was talking about is, I want to be a legend. I want to be a legend. I want to be a legend. He wasn't talking about trophies. He wasn't talking about nothing. I want to be a legend. Ian Wright, Henry.
Again, I don't like beating a dead horse. But
I said it at the time.
I said everything.
You guys made peer pressure made me say Aubameyang's doing bits
Bro,
now.
you called him
the
a
guy.
stat
The guy's
padder
gone
and all
back.
this, and then man
Well,
took
that
golden boot.
looks like I wasn't wrong, innit? It looks like I wasn't
You saying
wrong.
he's back to stat padding?
He's not even putting.
He's
out
not even
stats.
putting up numbers now.
Oh yeah, so there
Listen,
we go.
Yeah, I mean,
There
like
we go.
I said it.
There we
Washed
go.
at this point.
I said it
It
last
has
week,
been.
and I don't want to be like a dead horse
Who?
or anything.
He
But
goes too far in it.
like,
He goes too far.
if you look at the way they play, it's not great. Again, I spoke to production a while ago when I was saying essentially, if you look at like new gen managers, the reason why I sometimes feel sorry for them is like, so let's say someone like Jurgen Klopp. If we're being honest, a lot of us wouldn't have seen him until he got his second managerial job. His first managerial job was away from the lights and everything.
What I might.
Yeah, no one really saw that. Do you get where I'm coming from?
The real
So
know.
the real will know, but a lot of people don't see it. So when it's time to foundation and make mistakes, if you're kind of at those sort of clubs, no one really knows.
You get that kind of.
Yeah. I feel like with people
still
like,
got to do a good job.
you still got to do
to
a good
get
job,
signed
of
by the big
course.
clubs.
But I feel like someone like Lampard, Arteta to a certain extent, your beginning is right in front of us. So any little mistake you make, the pressure is piled on 100%. But at the end of the day, you signed up to this. You get where I'm coming from. Arteta knew the squad he was signing up to. He can't tell me he didn't. He can't tell me that being an Arsenal captain and knowing how Arsenal have been all those years, he didn't know that anything didn't change and whatnot. He probably still speaks to these guys. Threw his own teammate under the bus, mate, and then played Lacazette in the 10 today. Like I can't say much
That's the
more.
funniest
What was
thing
that?
I've seen
Like
this
I'm
season.
being like I'm actually trying to, because I don't want to go into it too much. I've already said that I feel like
Saka
they're
at
mid-table
right wing
team.
back.
Saka is, you know, when I made the mistake and I said that Sterling's the talisman, and when what I meant to say was he's the one player that you kind of look to, even against who did he play? He got the goal and assist against Sterling.
Yeah.
Saka is the same thing. He's at 17. He's the one player that looked to at everything. Next, you know, you're throwing him at right wing back. Like nothing encourages me about the Arsenal team. You should know it's bad when fans are like, oh my God, Guendouzi's bossing it in the Berlin derby and all this. Is that is not the level of club
out
that
of here, man.
I grew up on Arsenal. So I can't give it much energy.
Yeah.
Fans will be like, oh, don't go in on this and whatnot. There's nothing to really go into.
Listen.
I'd rather speak about West Ham. I'd rather speak about Leicester or Wolves. Like these are teams, like maybe not West Ham, but Wolves and Leicester, like
Yeah.
better managers,
It's just
better projects.
interesting to document the decline. That's all it is.
At this point, it's not even. For me, it's not even interesting anymore because it's a repeated
Okay, it's just
record.
fun. It's just fun.
For
me as a
you, it's going to be
Tottenham
fun, but like realistically, when we speak about Arsenal, what are we talking about? We laugh about it. We don't even say how it can improve.
Because right now they're 15th. If he gets knocked out of a cup or Europa League or something like that, what do Arsenal have to cling on to for Arteta to stay? I.e., you're basically going off. The only reason why he's keeping job is an FA Cup last year. Aside from his counter-attacking and inshallah, I don't know what else he can bring to the table tactically, if that makes sense.
It's a simple.
That's
bro,
a
listen,
six segue.
Arsenal
Though.
just-
Counter attack and inshallah is actually a six segue
Perfect.
to you, man. Ironically, I was thinking about United, and do you know why it's so hard to judge United? Because Margs came in a few weeks and said we can go on a mad run. Since you lost that game, I think you've conceded. You're so dumb. You've conceded goals and come back in each of the 5 games or something. If you win your Champions League game, you would have come out of the group of death, and you'll be 3 points behind title leader. Or was it 4 points? Like I've come to realize, United are one of them teams where,
Of course.
it's hard to judge. And you mentioned something last week, right? When I was talking about Arsenal and I said Arsenal are a mid-table team, you said they should be aiming for Champions League because of how the season we're in. So on that merit, that surely means that United should be aiming to challenge based on the fact that they finished third and did make some recruitment. That's
Should
fair
be
to say.
aiming, yeah,
Should
they
be
should
aiming
be-
for it.
should be aiming
So I
for
mean, you guys at the moment are in a good position, whether it's Ole in, Ole out, whether the fans are trying to make this smear campaign against Bruno and he still keeps performing. Like United are still performing to a certain extent. And it looks like Ole's not going anywhere from when the board is saying that, listen, we're backing him in the summer next year. So what is your thoughts on just all of that in general?
You know what? Listen, it just shows that how talented Man United's squad is. We've got a very talented squad. It's as simple as that. We've got a talented squad, and credit to Ole bringing in some of them players that are talented. But we've got a talented squad, and the most impressive thing, right, is that you look at other teams' setups, and we were just talking about how Liverpool just keep trucking along. Van Dijk out, Trent out. It doesn't really matter. They're trucking along.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno and Rashford were benched yesterday. They're our two players that are putting down the best numbers this season. I think they both got double figures and stuff this season.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play the first half. What did that look like out there?
Send me that.
What did it look like? What did it look like out there? We've got no system. We've got no. It's kind of just like, the thing is, look, it's kind of just like players. We've gone down. We've won 15 points, I think, this season from
4 in a row.
15 points this
4 or
season
5
from being
games.
down.
Yeah,
From losing positions.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable. I'm sorry. That's not sustainable football. You can't be going in at half time and coming in and then just blitzing teams away. You can't be doing that consistently. So as much as, you know, we can get excited and be like, yeah, look, if we win our game in hand, we're level with Chelsea. And Chelsea, everyone's going on like Chelsea having the greatest season of all time, and United having the worst season. If we win our game in hand, we're level with Chelsea.
Yo, that's fucking crazy.
It's
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying. Like,
But it's a situation where I see it as, is it sustainable? Right now, I'm enjoying it, whatever. But then you just said we could go through. We could go out. We could lose to City.
But that's what I'm
then
saying.
all of a sudden the season changed, which is why I just said. That's why I said earlier, I'm not doing this whole prediction stuff no more. Bro, every week it changes, man.
No, of course.
Yeah,
But
it's just force.
just
Every week it changes.
Purely devil's advocate, right? You're saying it's unsustainable. Last season
To do that.
of course.
Yeah.
But last season we saw United go on a run, like,
Yeah.
and there was performances there and
14
everything.
games or something?
Yeah, it was something in terms of like, whether you like Oli, you don't like Oli. I saw the team do something. This season at the moment, there's been a bad result, but I'm seeing the team sort of, you know. Do you reckon that's down to solely individual brilliance, or do you think that he has some fundamentals that he's bringing to the table that he does deserve some credit for? Because for me, it is just so hard to judge, because at the end of the day, if you're still in these conversations and a man's getting slayed every 2 minutes, I look at it and I go, hold on.
Yeah.
Well, he must be doing something right, because look at Arsenal's situation. They've got individually decent players, but they're 15th.
It is, yeah.
So
We've got a much better team than Arsenal.
no, of course, that goes without saying.
How did you lose?
Bro, that's such wasted points. But you know, you look at the thing is, there is stuff. What I don't like is when people act like Ollie's done nothing. That's what I don't like. I'm not one. Do I want him? If we had Poch, Allegri, or something, I would happily sit here and say, you know, we're gonna title contend. But with Ollie, I don't know. But I don't like when people act like he's not done anything at all.
Yeah.
People say, well, Martial and Rashford were like this under LVG. But okay, but there was 3 years of stagnant. So to even bring them back to, well, Martial's crashing at the moment, but to bring them back to a level where you think, okay, they're back to that you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit for signing Bruno. And let's be honest, Bruno at the moment on form is a top 5 player in the Premier League on form. If you're talking about Kane on form, remember I said Kane, Son, Bruno, Jack Grealish, and what? Who's the other one? Maybe I'm missing somebody out. I don't really know. But on form, those are the players that right now are really making noise. So you can, in a way, say, is Bruno carrying? Because you look at Man United pre-Bruno and post-Bruno, it's ridiculous. Since Bruno signed, since January, Man United, I know it doesn't really, these kind of stats are kind of, take it how you want. We're top. We're top of the league since January. If you look at, we're 51 points. The next team is 48 points. If you look at Man United since January, in 25 games, we're top of the league.
And this
You
is
know what I mean? But at the same time, it's so hard to judge because you don't know. As a Man United fan,
you don't know what side you're going to turn up.
What lineup we're going to start with next week. I don't know what formation we're going to play. I don't know how we're even going to turn out. Like, you start against West Ham, poor. We could have been 4-0 down. And then you end up winning 3-1. It's so hard to...
you've got them options where you can make them changes off the bench.
No, but I think
two, make them three. You can change the formation on a week.
This is where the difference is. I feel like with our teams, with Chelsea, and we can bring Chelsea in this, with Chelsea and Spurs at the moment, to a certain extent, you know that there's a sense of stability.
Yeah.
You know what to look to. Even with Chelsea, I don't think there's like a brand of football at the moment, but I know there's going to be some fundamentals of we're going to defend well and we're going to create chances. With United, you might be looking at Southampton game, you think, you know what, we're going to get bust around here. West Ham, you know what?
It's not even only that. What you're saying is, at least you know, this is what Chelsea are going to do, for this game.
We know the
intention.
intention.
What Jose is going to do. Yeah. This is what Klopp's going to do. I look at Man United, I'm literally, me and my boys are sitting there saying, what formation are we playing against City? or are we going to do, do you reckon we're going to do counter? Or do you reckon we're going to do, we don't even know. And that is what makes things,
with Oli?
That is what makes things not sustainable. Listen, if Oli had a direct style of play, I will be saying I'm Ole in. Like, what am I complaining about? Yeah. But it's the fact that it's so hard to see the sustainability.
So then, you see what you're saying, and then with Bruno, do you reckon it's hard to have like a set way of play when you've got a player like Bruno that's just this enigma?
No, do you know what it is? With Bruno, right? Bruno's doing at the moment, he's doing what you could say probably the best that you can do in a situation like this. One thing is, with Bruno is... Because United are so, we're like laboured with things and stuff, he forces passes and stuff like that 100%, but he's putting out, his output is ridiculous. And open play, most chances created in the Premier League, most goals from a midfielder without penalties before everyone wants to say he's a penalty merchant and all this type of stuff. So he is doing what he needs to do. And it's funny because when it comes to other players, you would give everyone he's playing under Oli, But so then why don't you, what about all this imagination of if Bruno was playing under a different manager? Because he's still getting the job done now with this. So it can only make United fans think that if we did get a better manager or whatever, he'll go absolutely crazy. Whether people would like it or not, in the last 2-3 seasons, bro, his stats are nearly as good as Messi's.
Outlandish.
His in combined goal and assists are nearly as good as Messi's and Ronaldo and Lewandowski and them. It's what we're seeing is actually crazy, and people still doubt his technical ability and stuff, which I get it. He's not that pretty with it, but the guy gets. Yesterday was the perfect, for anyone that's a Bruno fan or stan, was the perfect. It's the
perfect game for them. Man came on and then
the guy came on and just moved mad, creating chance after chance.
He was running the show.
It was running the show, and bro, like no one can downplay the importance. And I say it like in terms of impact and importance. I've probably never seen a player come to United and just do this, bro.
Some United fans have said Cantona was the last guy to make an impact like that.
That's 100% true. Fergie goes on about that as well. I'm not saying he's United's best ever signing. That was disrespectful to many players.
The impact.
But in terms of impact, he came in, United were battling top 10. We end up finishing 3rd. And then now we're in a semi-title challenge.
Yeah,
so
and he's one of those players who always gives you a chance in a game, no matter what.
Always.
If he could be having a worse game for 88 minutes, and then in 2 minutes he can just turn it around. Whether it be a penalty, a free kick, one or something.
My only thing is, so far in the, which one of my boys said, in the big games, like I got to be consistent with it. Except on maybe an assist against City and assist against Chelsea, it hasn't been the Bruno. So City next week.
You need to see it. No, I heard it. I respect that. Something. You mentioned something which is a perfect segue, which was what you just said now about
being the X Factor guy who can create something out of nothing. Yeah.
So, not X Factor. You know what? Let me just go with it. In terms of Chelsea, one thing that was highlighted by Chelsea fans and non-Chelsea fans, just football fans in general, was the last 2 or 3 games, Werner, and in front of goal.
Speak on it.
So, to us that watch Bundesliga, like this isn't news. It's not news. It's not news. It's like, okay, what's new here?
Yeah.
It's not news. But, do you think that could be a detriment to Chelsea? Because like, unlike Spurs' situation, in terms of the way you play, like you have to be super clinical. Because when you're doing those counter attacks, you have to make it count. Do you reckon that this could be detrimental? For me personally, I don't, because like you said, even in the games where he's been having absolute nightmares, he's still popped up with assists. Bruh. He's still busy. I think we've had 13 different goal scorers this season. You were saying that Zuma might put up 20 goals this season or something.
The guy's got 6 goals.
We're finding...
Bro, he's going to hit double figures, I'm telling you.
Bro, and I was watching so many games. I was watching so many games, bro. The guy wins nearly every attacking header, in
Every
in the box.
defensive one as well,
It's
bro.
getting
Everything.
silly
Listen,
with how many goals he can score.
But I don't think it will be a detriment because the way we're playing at the moment, anyway, I always feel like we're going to create a chance.
Yeah, 100.
Where I'm scared is what I've always mentioned. Well, not scared. Where I have to be, like you said, with the big games is
when they
in the
dry
big
out.
games, you might only get that 2 chances.
Mhm.
So it's the
Yeah.
same thing I said with Tammy Abraham. Like, you have to bury that. Or Werner, you have to bury that. Champions League's a prime example. You're not going to get the freedom again at the moment when we're playing teams like these. Anything you might get that 1 chance and you have to bury it. If not, see you
thing-
later. Back to the bridge. You're
Yeah.
not going
The
through.
thing with-
So
yeah.
That's what it counts.
The thing with him, I think what you said there is perfect. You lot play the football where you create enough chances. And for me, with his pace and his movement, which I think are his 2 strong points, he will create chances no matter what. And it's one of them things as well. It's when you say he's missing loads of chances as well, I feel like because now he's playing out wide more as well, if he starts doing what he did on the weekend, which was get that little 5-yard assist to Pulisic, if he starts incorporating that into his game, the misses that he's doing
No one
get
cares
brushed
anymore.
under the carpet,
No one cares
because
anymore.
you're still contributing. I think it's when you're judging him solely as a striker and a goal scorer is when you're like, he's missing far too many chances.
And
But
this
for
is
me,
why-
if he's still getting the 7, 8, 9 assists a season and then getting
Just put it on the
18,
plate.
19 goals,
Put it on the
bro,
plate.
brilliant season.
'Cause
You got to remember, debut seasons are never easy. It's
Yeah.
so easy to kill someone
Very
when
true.
they're adapting to a new league, adapting to a new country, adapting to a new team. And this Chelsea team as well has had a lot of new signings come into it.
Straight.
He's still getting used to it. The team is still getting used to it.
You-
So
people are gonna
you can't go overboard for
People
me.
are going to
gonna
go up and down because let's be real, Ziyech ain't done nothing for 3 weeks. So
He's injured
things
now.
are going to go up and down. Ziyech 1 second was the best player in the league and then his form has dropped. Werner at a point scored his form. You guys, you're going to go up and down like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that I looked at the other day, Ziyech came off, Pulisic came on. That's the strength
Yeah.
that Chelsea got. And in all honesty, in a fully fit Chelsea side at the moment, I would probably take Werner out of the team, right? I think someone like Werner coming off the bench can play to his style best. That's when I think he'll be able to play to his style best. Giroud at the moment, you can't take him out of the team.
Bruh.
You can't. But and I'm not disrespecting Werner, Pulisic linking up with... Pulisic's an X-Factor player.
Yeah.
Linking up with Giroud and then Ziyech
on the other side.
I'm not disrespecting Werner in any way, but I just think if I was going right now as the best team, I'll put that as my.
I
You
think
know, it's-
obviously because he's a marquee signing as well. I think
I was
that's
gonna say,
the
one,
issue.
it's
Is I think
very
everyone
difficult.
feels the
It's
pressure
very-
of
yeah.
we paid this big money for him, we have to play him. But I feel like because you have them riches, it's calm having
This is-
somebody on the
but-
bench.
but this is why for me,
He will.
and-
Tired man
we can
with
touch-
his legs.
You can touch into this maybe another time, because I'm not going to be enough time. But what I find so funny is this only became an issue in the last 3 games. Like I said, we discussed this when he was in the
It's when you have them wild misses.
But if you looked at the early games, right? I didn't hear anyone say anything when he scored 5 from 5 shots.
He'll score. He's
He scored 5 from 5 shots. No one said anything about it. It's when it happens. So
Remember, I tweeted. This is actually weird because the one thing about Werner is he's not efficient.
his economy is always a bit somehow.
Speaking of giving people their respect, yeah. Obviously, before he messages us from his burner account, Kurt Zuma. Can we touch on him?
His burner, innit?
Bro, he's got a burner that he's atting us
Definitely,
every
bro.
week. Yeah. For the amount of headers he's won, for the amount of challenges he's won.
What you
1 year ago, we laughed at you, admittedly, for you giving him his clout. Then you retracted that and said, I ain't sure about Zuma no more, you know.
Let's give context. What
But
did I
then this
say?
season-
I said I'm scared when he passes the ball.
I get that.
That's
yeah.
what I said, and I'm still scared
Was
about
it the
that.
Newcastle game? He looked very comfortable on the ball. Probably he had the most touches, I think, of any Chelsea player.
He is improving, and
Yeah.
again, this is why with the centre back thing, anyone that, like
So
your centre back,
my
you see
question with
from-
him anyway is he actually getting better as a defender, or are the goals that he's scoring in the box clouding?
No. I'll explain what it is.
From a Chelsea fan, I want to hear your
I'll explain what it
perspective.
is. This is what happens when you have good stewardship.
Mhm.
He's next to someone, an experienced centre back, who is calm, who is collective, who will instruct him what to do. We always said it. There's not a lot of great A centre backs in the league anymore.
Yes.
If you have 2 Bs, it's going to be crazy. And
You said this last season.
I said it that Rudiger and Zoom in their approach to defending are very similar. They're both gonna want to smash you. They're both gonna come up with the wide Bambi legs and everything. If you have 2 people doing that, that is
Bozo gene
it's
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
But if you have someone that's calm down, composed, then you have someone that can bring the balance in the area duels. You have that's a partnership.
Yeah.
It's not just putting two players together. It's a
Thiago's
partnership.
definitely brought the best
And
out of it.
he's benefiting, same way he's benefiting from having that stewardship. Thiago Silva's benefiting from having someone that does that work.
The physical and
Yeah,
winning all
because
them
Thiago
headers.
Silva like is calm with the ball, plays it forward.
He's trying to be a Rolls Royce. He's like, you do the, you do the physical.
I think Zuma's doing well at the moment. He's doing well. He's not like, I've seen he still makes mistakes. There's still a mistake in Zuma.
There's still a lapse there.
There is still a lapse.
That's his character.
The goal the other day, listen, him and Mendy was bad communication there. Mendy took the stick, but I saw who Thiago Silva was looking at. He was looking at Zuma. He wasn't looking at Mendy, bro. He was looking at Zuma like, brother, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So, but I'll give him his clout, like his credit. He is doing well. And bro, as I said, when you have a centre back, I remember with like Vidic. Mate, every corner you thinking this could be a goal.
It could be a goal.
Like,
It could be a goal.
it's getting silly. The guy has 6 goals this season, so you got to give him his credit. He has been one of the better centre halves in the Premier League this season. So yeah, but I do still think there's a mistake in him, and I'm not gonna now start turning. Do I think he's amazing? Nah, it's a long season, man.
Improvements, but there's still a long way to go.
What you said though is like you can look at loads of players and you can look outside of the game and you think, you know what? There's like Zuma's one of them players where the opposition will probably be like, you know what? If you get in this corner, he might bring you down for a penalty or something. That's just how he is. I don't feel like at this age you can coach that sort of wanting to dive in out of him.
And do you know
But
when it works,
you can make
though, it
situations.
works. Do you remember that
Yeah.
game? Was it last?
No,
Stitch
bro, I
challenge?
kid you not.
And I
On
kid
that
you not.
Wan-Bissaka thing on
Oh,
Bowen,
No,
that
but I
was-
kid you not, he's done like
Them
one of them
kinda
in
tackles.
each game. He's done one of them in each game. But when it goes wrong, you look like the villain.
Yeah, no,
And the
but
thing
that's
is,
just
sometimes
that's
you just
black
have to take
defenders.
it.
Let's just be real. Black defenders, black defenders do that. Black defenders.
No, but Vidic used to dive in.
yeah,
Vidic-
Upamecano,
Vidic
gotta
used
show
to-
that
Wan-Bissaka.
physical.
No, but
Colours.
Vidic used to do it.
They let you go past and then
And it's
clamp
like,
your ass. Yeah,
no, Wan-Bissaka
feel
did.
this.
Wan-Bissaka did one on Bowen.
Yeah, he did.
Wan-Bissaka's one on Bowen.
That is black defenders 101.
And
Literally. so-
Speaking on like just champion
Speaking on
things
what,
that we
black
like.
players?
No. Speaking on things we won the champions.
I know you want to talk about Kante, innit?
No. We ain't got time like that. I was gonna say champ of the week.
No, but wait a second. All this credit, just quickly, because people like Kante, Zuma, and getting credit and all that type of stuff, which they're doing well at the moment. But like, what about when people were saying Chilwell was a shit signing? No, I'm not hearing that anymore. What about when Mason Mount was Chelsea's scapegoat? I'm not hearing that anymore. So how come the people aren't giving these guys credit?
Mason
But you're
Mount,
giving
another one.
Mason Mount's turned
what
the
you
corner.
said,
Like,
what you said is
but
perfect.
people
I wanted
talk about Kante and
I wanted to
Zuma.
ask this question. Yeah, we're
Chilwell
gonna do
was universally seen as a shit signing.
This is
I wouldn't say
this. No.
People were saying
overpaid.
He's just another
Overpaid
show.
because of the options.
No. A lot of people.
He's
did
been a
shit.
great
A lot
signing.
of
He's
people
actually
Digne
been
and
probably
Alaba.
Chelsea's
This
best
is
signing
this
so
is the
far.
question I wanted to ask you guys. What do you hate most about your fan base at the moment? And mine is that and the frantic panic at each team selection. Like, I feel like in terms of Chelsea, there's a lot of players that become scapegoats, and then when they do well, it's kind of like, oh yeah, but you were dissing this player like now, and it's not like constructive. You're dissing the players. Like Mount was
Lampard's son.
like Lampard was dissed. Like you said, Chilwell. Like my thing with Chilwell was, I'm gonna support the signing. I feel like from what I saw last season, I don't know. And then what did I say straight away? You know what? I feel like he's got over that.
Mate.
But yeah, that's me.
Mason, I never turned my back on Chilwell.
He's
The rightful thing happened. Reece James
Reece
kicked
James
him
has
out
been
of
doing
here.
really well
I've
defensively.
deeped it now.
He's
but
been
yeah,
doing
I've
re-
seen
but-
it for a couple of
but
weeks.
that's
you know.
why-
Set man was telling
But
me
that's why we
that.
have depth.
I'm liking that. I'm liking that.
That's why you would say Chelsea have depth. But I would say the two things I don't like is anytime you see a lineup like the Seville game, oh my god, why would you pick this lineup? We smacked them for 4. Why can't you say, oh well done? Why can't you address?
play.
Why can't you
Fair
address
play.
everything in the room?
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about Chelsea. I know what yours is going to be.
Go on.
The
No,
bandwagon.
tell us.
What do you not
Tell
like
us,
about
tell
White
us.
Knights?
The thing I hate, the one thing, look, football fans nowadays just are too like emotion stuff in it. But what I don't like about my own fan base, for example, is the love for a player. It's too much. You support United, you don't support the player. If the players come and go. It's a revolving door. The love for, it could be Rashford, it could be Martial, it could be Bruno, it could be Pogba, which makes you then pin them against each other. If I'm talking about Rashford, I don't give a shit about what Martial's doing. I don't want to talk about Martial.
Yeah.
If I'm talking about Martial, I don't want to talk about Rashford. I'm talking about Bruno, I don't want to talk about Pogba, Bruno. I don't want to do it, but United fans have an obsession. Literally, I posted Rashford being the top scorer of the Champions League off 360's post. I posted it on Twitter. I didn't even put a comment. I just put ... But he's shit though. He's still doing Martial. I'm like, bro, you guys are actually angry that your own club's player is the top scorer of the Champions League.
Listen,
you get so sucked into
United
this player
this
FC
weekend,
thing.
I saw people, be like, "Oh, watch, he's gonna take VDB off just to bring on Bruno."
Yeah.
Bruno had a masterclass. You see, he always does this. But you won
Bruno
the
sexuals,
game.
bro.
It's crazy. That's what I said. Like, as I said, I may not want Oli in, but I'll give him his credit for stuff. Yeah, people were just the other week. People were saying that Oli did the wrong thing, taking off. Took too long to take off Fred, right? And he got a red card. That was the big topic out of everything. Okay,
Martial
we're 1-0 down. We're 1-0 down. He at half time he makes 2 changes. Oh, but he's gonna kill his confidence. And why'd you take off Cavani? And then it worked out. But then you're not there to say, oh, do you know what? Them subs were good. People are agendas.
What about you? What do you like about Spurs?
You know, I'll be honest with you.
Spurs
Spurs fans are very unproblematic. We're very unproblematic.
You guys just
we're just nice people.
I don't like the Pochettino.
Nah. The Pochettino thing, I think that's a small segment who are two
it's
Jose diehard.
No,
they're
loud.
sucked in the moment,
It's loud.
so they're trying to rub it.
All right, boom. Champ of the week. Here we go. Unanimous dud of the week. But we'll go into that.
Who's your dad of the week?
Dud of the week is unanimous. There can only be one dud.
Who?
It was
The Millwall
unanimous.
fans and the
That
West
was
Ham
it. The Millwall fans,
Yeah, the Millwall fans and the
motherfuckers.
West Ham
West Ham
fans.
fans was fake.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
they didn't do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
when I saw that, I was like, I don't hear them do them.
Yeah,
No,
the Millwall ones.
Is it?
Millwall ones are
the
fucking
Millwall
dickheads.
fans. Yeah.
Millwall, and the thing
Absolute
about the Millwall
dickheads.
one is that I'm telling you now, with Millwall, that was 100% premeditated.
It was.
Yeah.
100%.
There was no,
They were gonna do that.
yeah,
They said-
100%. There must have been a Facebook forum group or something where they're gonna do that because that was that sounded like every single fan.
Yep.
And to be honest, what do we expect from Millwall fans? I said it in the comments. They're only relevant really and truly because of Green Street. No one actually cares about Millwall. Do you know what I mean? No one cares about Millwall, and they're actually. You got to talk about disgusting clubs in this country. They're probably the most disgusting club.
Facts.
And if I was any black player playing for Millwall, I would say I'm not playing.
Do you
and
know
then the
what's-
white players should unite with me. And this is the thing. Too much stuff get pushed under the radar in this country. If this happened, I always talk about NBA because it's the best run league in the world. If this happened in the NBA, I guarantee you nobody's playing.
No,
I guarantee you
100%.
nobody's playing until something changes.
Do you know what's sad
Them
as
fans-
well, yeah?
Bro, it's ridiculous in this country, man.
Obviously, that's Birmingham's, innit? That's ends. The reason why it's so rattling as well is you have to look at academy level, yeah. The catchment area for Millwall Academy boys, what is it? Peckham, Campbell, all these areas. The academy is black boys. Like black boys are actually within this institution. Like there's black boys in the team, and they have to balance this whole thing of like, you know what? I know what this club's about, but I want to get a pro. I want to succeed. Do you know how like traumatizing that must be? Because you're battling two things, and what makes it worse is like as a football club, they have prehistorically tried to do things. The club statement they put out that was appalling and waffle.
They didn't have a clue, saying that they were confused while they were typing.
The fact that it took them that long to do was
Took 'em
appalling.
like a whole day.
Was appalling. And then if you look at it, the fact that a football club here is epitomized in different parts of the world. They've got fan groups in like Moscow and Romania and all these weird places where they literally say, yeah, it's because you have an affinity with it because they're racist.
Yeah.
Does that not sound weird to you?
Listen, I used to work at Wembley Stadium 2011. Yeah, I worked at Wembley Stadium behind the kiosk. Worst job ever. Quit after 2 days. But I did Millwall v Man City, it might have
FA
been.
Cup semi-final.
FA Cup semi-final. Mate, they were doing cocaine on my fucking kiosk desk. I was like, man, I'm trying to flip burgers, mate. I'm trying to diss burgers. You guys are doing cocaine on my desk.
Trying to season my burgers.
Yeah, and that was the day they were throwing, even in that game, they were throwing around the banana, some banana blow up.
One of the worst things I've seen, yeah, was
that club is
it
a
was
shambles.
the playoff semi-finals. I can't remember what year it was. I was a young buck. Birmingham, yeah. They lost at the Den. If you saw the way these man flipped up the ends,
Bro,
cars were bricked,
Bruv.
shops were torched.
Trash.
What? Because you man were not good enough to go through
win the
to
game.
go to
bottom
Wembley.
grade club at every
Yeah, they're
level.
duds. They're universal duds.
Absolutely.
They're universal
A separate dud. It hurts me to say it has to be Chris Wilder, man, and Sheffield United.
Oh,
this is going.
real men going out like this.
This is bro. No, we got Jose and Simeone. You get me?
Hey,
We got Jose and Simeone.
I'm not having this. I'm not having this. Listen,
You got
yeah.
Jose and
Flip the
Simeone.
camera this way.
Like-
This man tried to call Real Men FC. Yeah, he huddled a band of men. Nigel Pearson, Chris Wilder,
Jose Mourinho.
Who else?
Simeone.
Who else was there?
Don't forget
There was a
them, man,
bunch
there.
of duds he
Don't
named.
forget them.
They're all failing. They were all
Don't
going
forget that.
outside.
Nah,
Now you're trying
listen.
to include Jose and Simeone. You had agendas against them.
Let me explain. You know, like when you have like these like global.
Those are
memberships,
real
yeah,
men.
The European contingent are still holding it down.
Bro, yeah,
See the English one, yeah.
The Brexit lot.
Yeah.
Failures.
Bro, you know what it is, yeah? Like, bro, Sheffield United at the moment,
They need
listen,
the fans.
they're actually they're behaving like the worst club to ever play in the Premier League this season. They've got 10 losses.
Derby vibes.
They've got 1 point. Bro, it's even, Derby are the worst, but
Yeah.
they're looking at their
They
man
have
doing
1 point.
Derby.
They've got 1 point from 11 games.
Listen, if Derby, I love Chris Wilder. I think he can get a better job, 100%. He's a good manager. He brought them up the leagues and stuff. We showed seeing what he done last season. But Derby, get on that phone. Big Sam is unemployed. Call that man immediately. Sheffield. Call Big Sam immediately. That guy's unemployed.
100%.
He needs a job.
Because
He'll
you remember,
keep
you
up.
remember,
Hey,
mate.
bro. Bro, actually, Arsenal as well. Arsenal call Big Sam
Big
as well,
facts.
bro.
Big facts. But do you remember, matey?
Long ball, get
Paul
Albert
Jewell.
in. Goals, go long.
Paul Jewell was the one that came up with Wigan. All them ranks, similarly to like Sheffield. Who got the worst record with Derby? Paul Jewell himself.
Did he?
So
Was it
Chris
Paul Jewell?
Wilder
I thought
that
it was
year.
Mick-
Nah, it was
Mick
Paul Jewell.
McCarthy.
He got sacked halfway through the season.
Damn.
Yeah.
We saying he's a
So
new
Chris
Paul Jewell.
Wilder.
Chill.
Lights
with
are on
chill with
you.
that. But
Lights are on
let's
you.
go champ of the week though.
I was gonna say, not dud of the week, but two people I'm gonna analyze the situation is Thomas Partey and Ryan Brewster, because the moves they made, we're gonna have to pay a bit more
Ryan
attention.
Brewster, bro. You got that
Nah,
Champions League
he
medal
got
getting
shagged.
trim.
He got shagged.
Listen, we're gonna
Wilder
have to
finessed
assess the
him.
moves they did. But
Mine- yeah, go
champ, my champ is a production. What team was it in Germany that did that?
Augsburg.
Was it Augsburg?
That
the goal?
mocked Xhaka.
No.
sorry.
Basically, was it Stuttgart?
What did they do?
Yeah, it wasn't Schalke. It was Stuttgart. So still,
What did they do?
A production.
What
So
happened?
basically, yeah, it was 1-0. And then you know when like you play it back to the goalkeeper and it's all slow pace and whatnot. So they did a dead pass here. This guy sprinted from nowhere, intercepted it. Yeah, the goalkeeper's out. He just walked it into the net. Yeah, he stood the ball on the line. This is like 8.5 minutes. Then he kicked it in. Yeah, said about wanting to beef him. The goal still counted. Goal still counted.
I didn't even see that. You need to send that to
Listen,
me.
I love
whoever
it.
you
Shithousen.
Listen, you are champ of the week. You understand? It was like, you know when you're watching set, you're like, hold on, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Because the ball was played, it just came, boom, just walked back. He was like, nah, this is
Love
too
that.
easy.
I
Stop
need
it.
to, I need to
Love
see
I'll
that.
send
that.
it to you even
Shit,
after, but I
My
need to
champ
champ
of the week.
still.
Do you know what? It's gonna be this is a stoppage time first. My champ of the week goes to the man over there. It goes to Maze.
Hey, for real.
He got on the footy blacklist.
Oh,
you
no,
know
I
what I mean?
appreciate it, man.
2020. Come
you
on,
better
man.
be clapping
Hey,
at home
listen,
as well.
that's a win. That's a win for us.
Nah, I
Bro,
appreciate
that's
it
stoppage
still.
time as well, man.
Bro, you're
Like,
repping the team. Big man team.
Nah, I
So
appreciate it
he's
still.
on the footy. What is it? One to watch.
Yeah,
One
something
to
like
watch.
that.
Yeah, so we're gonna give it to our mans over here. You know what I'm trying to say? Nah, big. That's
Big ups,
that's
man.
big,
That's
man.
for real.
I'll give
Appreciate
it to you
that
there, man.
still.
From working the event last year to this year
Yeah,
being
yeah,
named
yeah.
on the list.
Yeah.
Big yourself
Nah, I
up.
appreciate
G.
it
Big
still.
yourself.
It's lit
Don't be
still.
all humble here, G.
No, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
You're
man.
working this year, bro.
Work,
Trust
for
me.
sure.
It's worth it. What? Champ of the week? I think it's only right.
Sonny.
Jose.
Listen, that's another episode.
Jose. Wait.
Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure notifications are on. Visuals should be out in the AM. If they're not, blame the man that just moved the camera
Yeah, I
angle
know how
right now.
disgusted you are with our release
you
date
know,
time.
it's not.
Bro,
listen,
come show
we're
your
just
face.
men. It's not us. It's
Come
not
show your
us.
face. You can
Listen.
wear a mask that made you think. Yeah.
And we're out.